welcome to everyone and thank you for being here. It's my great pleasure to introduce Abhijit Ghorpade, whom I've known for many years in another context, especially through friends in Deccan College. And he's been a reporter for over 20 years, reporting for newspapers like Lok Satta. He was the only one who was covering very routinely cultural and natural sites across Maharashtra and the problems associated with them. And since the past 8 years, he started a journal called Bhavatal, which has taken into consideration a number of issues, both from the cultural and natural spheres. So if you want to take a look at this or talk to him about this, please do as well. And without a lot of time lost on anything, I think we'll get started. Yeah.
So thank you so much for inviting me. Actually, this is topic very close to my heart. I used to wander here and there since long to visit historical places, to visit several villages. And when I used to go to those places, the thing which attracted me most, that was such systems, historical water systems. And because of these systems, again I started to go to these systems to observe them, so find out. I used to wonder how these people, those days, must have fetched water just using manpower, just using animal power, without any electricity, without any modern technological aids. So the turning point was when I published this issue. This was in 2018. Bhavatal is documenting various aspects of Maharashtra, about natural history, about heritage, about traditions and all that. So 2018, we published this issue that was about historical water systems. And then we appealed people to, what you can say, we wanted to document all this again. So we started one campaign. We got good response, though that is incomplete, yet to do a lot. But then I started looking at that very seriously. So, and then this is what I went so many places. I talked to people, I talked to villagers, I talked to researchers. So what is this all about? And whatever I have learned, whatever I have noticed, whatever I have seen, observed, that's I'm going to present in front of you. So thank you for inviting me. The first thing, generally we talk about so many things. We say old is gold. But when it comes to traditional water systems, do we really mean that? So that is what I am going to present in front of you, because we talk a lot, but whether we respect, whether we look at these things in that sense, that is a big question mark. So that's what we'll try to find out during this presentation. When we talk about traditional water systems or historical water systems, when it comes to India, people think about South India or Western India, especially Gujarat, Rajasthan and southern states of India. But Maharashtra and these historical water systems, generally people are not aware of these systems. They are not so decorative, but there is a lot of variation, because Maharashtra is a state where climatologically or geologically, terrain wise, Konkan is there and Vidarbha is there, Marathwada and Western Maharashtra, Northern Maharashtra. All these places or these regions have got different climate, different terrain. So of course, when we talk about these systems, diversity is a lot. So in that context, you won't find so much decorative things here, decorative systems here, but they are very diverse. They are very different from each other. Systems from Konkan, you cannot match them with systems from Vidarbha. So let us look at these systems. The history begins far long back. Actually, most of you must be knowing about a place called Inamgaon. Those who are from archaeology background, they must have heard about Inamgaon. Inamgaon is a place which is on the bank of Ghod river. That is arid region between two districts, Pune and Ahmednagar. So that arid region, when archaeologists or researcher excavators, they did excavation, they found very interesting thing. They found lot of wheat over there, wheat grains over there. Now that is arid region, and past record also tells us that that time also, say 4,000, 5,000 years ago, that was arid region. Then why wheat? In today's context, we won't wonder if we get wheat in Rajasthan or anything that is from humid region to in desert, because due to communication and due to all these facilities, transportation and all that, world has come very close. So that is not fascinating us, or that is not something different or something surprising to us today. But think about that time, which is about 4,000, 5,000 years ago. So that time, getting a lot of wheat in a site which is arid, so that was something very different. So those researchers started to find why that has happened, why there is wheat in arid region. Then they found out very interesting thing. They found one protection wall. During that excavation, they found out one the protection wall, which was to protect village or that settlement from flood water, and at the same time, those people used to divert some of the flood water in the fields, and using that water, they used to irrigate their land and cultivate wheat. So that reason they found. So this is oldest evidence of any water system. So that's why I am considering this as a oldest water system in Maharashtra. If we find something else more older than this, definitely we'll consider that. But this is the beginning. So then from that history or our journey of traditional water systems in Maharashtra begins. So why to learn this? Why to look at these systems very seriously? Why? Because there are so many systems. There are wells, there are tanks, there are step wells, there are nahars and whatnot. So many things are there. Why to look at them so seriously? There are different. We can learn a lot. One thing what I have observed is all these structures are very, very attractive. If you look at some system, today's system, modern system, which is providing us water today, and if you look at some old well, so which will attract you more? So most of the people say that yes, that well. Why? That is not providing us water today. Though the system, which is modern system, that is providing us water, that is useful to us, but still that system that attracts us a lot. Why? Because the work is so beautiful, the work is done so meticulously. That's why we get connected to all these systems. So that is one thing we can learn or we can adapt. As I told you that that is beautiful masonry work they have done. Assurance of water. That time they used to that this system used to assure water to people that time. All these are sustainable resources, long lasting systems, because today even if we build some dam, its age is say about 50 years, 100 years or not more than that in modern time. But these like since generations, you can get systems, working systems, say 800-year-old, 400-year-old. So you can see how long lasting these systems were. Use and use, those are not use and throw kind of systems. The use and use and use forever. So, and maintained by people. So all these things we can definitely adapt, we can learn a lot from them. That's why we are looking at these old systems seriously. it is not just for saying, oh, how great our people were, how great that time was. So this is not just for that, but we can take so many things, we can learn so many lessons, or we can adapt so many things. That's why we are looking at these systems, giving so much time. So there are very interesting systems. One system very close to Pune, from this place, that could be just say 25 to 30 kilometers from here. There is a place called Ranje, that is in Sinhagad Ghera. If you go to Sinhagad from say Kalyan Darwaza, so there is at the foot there is a place called Ranje, a historical place. At Ranje there is a temple called Ranjeshwar. And in Ranjeshwar, there are these 3 tanks, Tin Kunda. They are connected to each other. And how they are connected? Water flows one way. So this is one, that is number 2, and that is number 3 tank. So from number 1 tank, water flows to number 2, then to number 3. Not like, not both the ways, just unidirectional. So this tank is used for drinking water. That water is used for drinking and for some temple use. Then this is another tank, so that is used for the bathing purpose. And then again this is 3rd tank. People used to, or even today they wash their clothes over there. And then that water through a nahar, through a closed canal or closed way, that goes to field. So see, today we talk about water use so oftenly, but that time also this system could be as old as say 300 years or more than that. So that time also people had thought of that. So for drinking purpose, then for bathing, then for washing your clothes, and that water was going to field. So such an interesting system. That is not only at Ranze, but I have seen it in Satara district. There is place called Dhawadshi. So at Dhawadshi also you find 4 tanks. One is for like a temple purpose, water is used for temple purpose, then for drinking, then for bathing, then for washing your clothes, and that water flows to Odha, flows to a natural stream. So such an interesting thing we can observe all around. Another thing, there are so many systems, but the point I want to make is there are some, what you can say, traditional wisdom in these systems. Very small things they have observed, or they have like performed or prepared, built these systems, observing or looking at very small things. So one thing fascinated me a lot, that is in moat system. Any one of you, have you heard or have you seen moat system? How people used to you handle that? Okay, so what is the best, what wisdom you can see in that moat system?
Just with help of this animal, either horse or bull or maybe elephant.
Yeah.
I have seen the 2 oxes actually, if you join, say there is actually big bucket with
Yes.
either metal or some skin of the animal.
Yeah.
They actually leave the water more than 3 or depend upon the depth of the well, 30, 40.
Yes. But which part you find a wisdom over there? Like, there could be different answers, but there is one thing which has fascinated me a lot that I'm going to narrate.
Normally they leave the water and water goes to field through the gravity only.
Yeah. Okay, fine. So moat system.
Channelizing of water to the fields, like sometimes you don't have to carry water, but like over here maybe you just pour the water, and there's a channel that leads to the field.
Yeah.
It actually moves along the topography, like
Gravity wise that flows. Okay. That is also fine.
The things are just for agriculture
Okay.
purpose.
What else?
And drinking water you can give directly from that steps.
Yeah, from there, yeah, you can use directly, you can go to
I have not seen the moat, but I have heard it through the poems and Abhangas also. So traditionally people giving that example of the moat for religious purpose.
Okay, fine. So those who are not aware of moat system, just to understand what is moat, at that time there was no electricity, no other energy like system by which we can fetch water. So just use manpower or just use animal power. So moat is a system where there is a platform where bullocks used to like walk to and fro. A rope was there, that was the another end is tied to some bucket, and that bucket goes down, that like is filled by water, and when the bullocks they move forward, that used to come up. Then this is place called Tharola. So that water people used to empty that bucket over there, and using these canals or channels that used to flow gravity wise to fields and for other purposes. That is moat system. But in that moat system, there is this is a ramp called dhav. So that ramp, you can see that should be horizontal actually, bullock for bullocks to walk to and fro, but that is slightly tilted. It has got little slope. So that is what fascinated me a lot, because you can see wisdom over there. This is away from the well. The slope is away from the well. Why? Because whenever these bullocks they like the bucket is full of water, then they need more energy to pull that. So that's why to make them like pull that easily, so that has got very little slope. Had there been more slope, there were chances of accidents, and had there been no slope, they won't get that, like that won't become easy thing. So that's why these so many small things. So that's in these systems, or in these small modifications, or in these small structural things, I find wisdom. That's why I call these things we see wisdom in these systems. Very important part, that all these systems, they are diverse. A system from Vidarbha is definitely is different, far different from the systems from Konkan, far different from systems from Marathwada, depending upon climate, depending upon terrain, depending upon people's need. Today what we see? Today we see a tanki, similar tanki in Vidarbha, similar tanki in North Maharashtra, similar tanki in Konkan. We don't see any difference, or what you can say, the thing from Vidarbha is as similar as that is from Konkan. But that time things were very, very different. Systems were altogether different. This is a photograph of a system called Pat system, that is from Konkan. So in Konkan, see, look at the resources, how they have used carefully, or how they have used local conditions to build their systems. In Konkan, you receive a lot of rains. Say average rainfall of Konkan is say 2,500 millimeters, or even more than that. Average rainfall, I am saying. Some places they even receive more than that. But in Konkan, if you go to summertime, you will find water scarcity over there in villages, because the capacity of the rock to hold that water is not that much. Even in entire Maharashtra, looking at our basalt, we have got basalt rock. It has got its capacity to store groundwater is very, very low. In Konkan, that is lower than that. So you see that situation, that in summertime, even it rains a lot. In monsoon time, in summertime, you don't get, in some villages, don't get water for drinking. So, but in Konkan, there are plateaus, lateritic plateaus. They are called as sade we call in Marathi. So on these sadas or on these plateaus, there is water, there is perennial source of water. So what people that time did, they used that water through this part system. They diverted that water, channelized that water to villages. So by gravity, those are on higher latitude, these sadas or these lateritic plateaus. So using that water, using this system, they diverted that water or channelized that water to villages. And there even today these systems are in working. They use especially for drinking, and at some places they use it for agriculture purpose as well. So but can we use this system in Vidarbha or Marathwada? It's not possible, because their terrain is different, their climate is different, their water sources are different. So this is meant only for Konkan. If you go to Vidarbha, you will get lot of water tanks, especially Malguzari Talavs we call. In say last few centuries, people build those tanks, water tanks, because over there situations are different. If you go to Marathwada, you won't get these tanks, or you won't get this system, because in Marathwada the rate of evaporation is much more than your rainfall. So then their need is to hide that water. So there are so many step wells, there are barrows. So store that water underground, let there be less evaporation, and use that water throughout the year. So the bottom line is, all these systems, they are diverse, they are different, they have used local conditions in a far better way than we use them today. But again, okay, we'll move ahead, then I'll tell that part. All these are decentralized systems. One of the very, very important point which I want to share is, all these are decentralized systems. People or the villages, they were not dependent on a centralized system. Today, if you talk about, if you take example of Pune, if there is fault in water distribution in Khadakwasla system, entire Pune is affected due to that fault. But that time, if this well is not working, then you have got some tank over there, you have got some different system over there. So this was advantageous. But again, let's not just praise all these things. There were some limitations also, because that time, looking at technology or looking at resources, people were not able to build such huge centralized systems, because that time that was limitation. So we need not. Generally what happens when people start looking at our past, they just start glorifying that. Of course there are very good things, but again there are limitations. There were so many things that time, people or the societies that time, they were not able to just do that. So that was limitation as well. But looking at advantage, people were not dependent on just a single centralized system. So, and they had control over their water. If there is some small well near my hutment or near my society, so I have control over that. Nobody else is controlling that, like whether to distribute that water, whether to allow or not. So that is my own resource. So that control that time people had over their resources or water sources. This is a very important thing. Aesthetic value. Why to decorate all this? Like you will see so many designs, you will see so many deities, so many animals and whatnot. And even as every stone, they have placed in such a nice way that anyone get attracted towards that. But why they must have done this? Okay, first see this. This is not from Maharashtra, this is from Gujarat, Rani Ki Vav. Some of you must have seen this. See the decoration. Why to decorate it in such a way? Why they must have done that? Because that is just a water source. So like today we are building water source, it is giving us water, then why to decorate, why to invest so much, why to spend so much time, why they have done that, why they have decorated these systems? What kind of message? Okay, that's fine. That manufacturer, like today we did, could have put a plate like this is done by Abhijit Ghorpade or this is donated by him or her. Why to decorate?
I think it's like a holy place. It's water and temple might they want to connect.
Okay.
There were memorials built in the memory of something, like especially Rani Ki Vav was built as a memorial,
Yeah.
commemorative monument along with a water system.
Yes, that is definitely one of the reasons. But I connect it with something else. See, I ask one question that what attracts us a lot, whether systems, water systems, those are which we have built today or those which are in the past. This aesthetics attracts people, and once you are connected, more connected to such systems, there is a chance of this system, like people maintaining these systems, they won't neglect these systems. So I connect this. Of course, why they have done that, there are several reasons, but I look at these things in such a way that attracted people maintain that, and there is a good connection between systems and people, and when there is strong connection, then there are chances of this system working for longer period. So that's why they must have done that. Again, you find so many systems which are meant to earn punya. I haven't got exact word for punya, so I have put it like that, punya. Because there are so many panpois. This is one near Supe, near Morgav in Pune district only. But such panpois are at several places. One is on Pune-Satara road at Shirwal. Even in Satara, there is Povai Naka. So that time there must have been panpoi. It was there. I have not seen, but I have heard from earlier generations. Pavai, Mumbai, that was a panpoi. So why? Because that water, and this particular Poitsa Mandir, this is called Poitsa Mandir at Supe. This is at top of a ghat. When you come from Solapur road, and if you want to go to Supe, there is one small ghat, and at top of that ghat, this is Poitsa Mandir, and there are such what you can say, Ranjan. They are in that Poitsa Mandir, but now that is destructed. There were two such vessels, but one vessels someone has removed. Only one is remaining there. So that is to earn punya, or to provide water for travelers, to provide water to animals, because that time all the trade that was just using bullocks, using what other bullock carts, bullocks, and such things. So these animals or the travelers, they need water. So these systems were for that purpose. This is one at Shirwal. There are so many actually. In Khatao Tehsil of Satara district, that is arid region, there some of the researchers or some of the people who are searching such places, They have found so many places over there also.
This is the one that was threatened in that highway.
Yes, yes, yes. It is still there, but that is like a what you can say, anytime that will go away. Yeah, further broken. But now they had some plan of taking that away and putting it somewhere else, but people objected because that place is very important, because that place shows that how that way was, the ancient time or not ancient but historical time at least. So that is in process. What will happen, don't know. Next. Considering others. So today, if we look at water or water systems or water demands, what people think of their own water. Pune city wants water. Pune don't think of the water which is going next to Pune. Because when there is water scarcity, all the time Puneites or our representative, don't know whether Punekars demand that, but representatives demand that we should not allow water to go away from Pune, even though those people they have right over that. But that time people or society that time, they used to consider others. So a good example is flood system, that is in Dhule district, or in Panjra, there is river called Panjra. In Panjra basin, you find these systems at several places or several villages. So the system is, people used to divert some of the water from Panjra river, divert that water, use it for their agriculture purpose. But what are floods? Flood are what you can say, pieces of land. So if a village has got agriculture area of say 100 acres, so they used to divide it into 4 pieces. So one piece is a one flood, another is one flood, so there are 4 floods. So how they used to distribute that water? In a cycle, so 4 years cycle. So one flood or one piece won't get any water this year. Another will get water for 4 months. Next will get water for 8 months, and the 4th one will get water for all 12 months. Again they used to rotate that. So that was a very good system. Even today also some of the villages they are performing, or still this system is working. So that was best equitable water distribution system I have heard ever. Very much. And people used to sit, think of how much rain we have received, so what to sow, what not to sow. So they used to do it, communicate or take a collective decision, and they used to follow that. So that is what people are taking. So such a interesting systems, not only to store water, but management of that water was done through such systems. But what has happened to them is a question today. I will tell you, wherever you live, wherever you are from, the systems, they must have become just a, what you can say, a systems where you dump something, or where you store your sewage or whatever like that. So this is what we see all around us. These are few examples, but wherever you go, you won't find something else than this. This is very interesting Pushkarni, that is at a place called Chandwad, that is on Nasik to Bhusawal road. This is on a hill. So fantastic. If you go in monsoon time, the area is so what you can say, so attractive. Clouds are there, greenery is there, some all the time it is drizzling, and this Pushkarni is very nice, but it is not maintained. Had there been no such thing, that is a wonderful place. So all these systems, they are like we are using them as a dumping ground, or just to just as a wastewater ponds or wastewater pools. So that is we are behaving like this, and then again we are crying for water scarcity and all that. So we can use these systems. At least they can cater to some of our needs, but we are not taking care of them. So now question is what to do with them. We'll have to take decision. We means society. What to do with them? We have developed modern systems. So let us decide whether to scrap all this. That is fine, but we'll have to take that decision. But in my view, we should not do that, because this is our legacy, and this is a very good thread, or very important. These are very important systems which tell us how we have reached to today's point, or at this point of human history. So if we scrap them, we will cut off that history. So we should not do that. That is very important heritage or legacy. Another thing is we can learn a lot. All these systems had discipline, management was there, people used to follow that, people used to value that, collective efforts were there. So we can definitely learn that they used to consider others. Not water is not only for me, that is for all. So they used to think of. We can adapt so many things. Aesthetic value we can adapt. Meticulous work is that also we can adapt. They, as I told you, that they can fulfill some of our needs. When there is scarcity, if we have well just close to us, we can use that water just to fulfill our need, cater our needs. That definitely we can do. And we should be thankful to our earlier generations, whatever they have done. So that way we cannot or we should not scrap them. But what next? So in my mind, this is, if we want to conserve this, first we'll have to document that in a systematic way. And that's why in beginning I told you that why this started, all this journey started. Bhavatal wanted to document this, but we were like short of manpower, and that system, and again you need so many things for a good documentation of these water systems. So I appeal that if we can, some of us can come together and again do this, I think that will be a good exercise, or that will be a good thing. So let's think on that, because documentation will be a very important step towards their conservation. Thank you. Yeah.
Questions?
So, when looking at these wells or other kind of reservoirs, so did you notice that there is some difference in the way they are built depending upon their location in the village? In the sense, something that was going on my mind is considering caste and access to water, considering untouchables were kept away from accessing the water. So, in village setup as such, do you come across particular locations where you get to see those reservoirs, and do the way they are built, whatever the decorative element is there, so whether that changes as per their location in the village setup?
Very important question. Recently I have started, because initially, as I told, that if such things are there, we just go on praising, or we just go on, oh, how great that is. But again, the very important thing you pointed at, if you go to Konkan, today's situation is, how I came to know that there is one guy who is working on this, and he posts something on Facebook that we are doing one issue on traditional water systems, and there was one reaction to that. that why you are glorifying all these things. These things have kept some of the section of society away from that. If you go to Konkan, there are wherever there are such systems, I think, what are those systems? A particular system. The khots, they have access to that water. Khots are from Brahmin community, Maratha community and Muslim community. Others, they don't have. And we glorifying that means we are all these systems, they are for them. And then if there is water, there are some villages where people don't get even drinking water, but all villagers come together and maintain these systems. So that guy questioned, why to do this? Because this is injustice to others. I have not noticed that, but I think that is also a very important part we should study. You are asked that in just aesthetic way, but not only that, that is much more deeper than that.
Even the PERD system that you mentioned, so how that entire portion of land, agricultural land in the village is divided, and then who gets how much time, and then even it's by turn, but then depending upon the caste location,
communities, that is yet to study, because that's why I'm saying that we should look very seriously into this. If somebody from you come ahead, we that is worth studying thing, because that reaction, when I read that reaction, another important facet was opened for me.
The PERD system, you have said that, as she also mentioned. So you have the whole land. So have you seen any place where this system is being used right now?
Yeah, there is some village. Then some other way they have built some modern bund, and using that, there is one village, I forgot the name, but in Dhule district there are 1 or 2 villages which are still using this system, just to portray that, see, this was a system. Those are live system today, that management system, but don't know at what level they are following that. But yes, technically there are some villages which are still performing or managing their water using this system. There are some.
So first question, of course, is that are these sites identified already? I mean, in the sense that, if some of us want to go, we know where to go.
Achha.
I mean, are we still looking for? I mean, are we in a kind of, do we have to go for an expedition or something like that? Possibly not, because maybe they're already available. So in which case, maybe we can create a layer of a map, and then locate all of them, and then start writing the documentation. Journal is already there, so we can start creating that. That's one thing. The second thing is that I came to know I went to Mandangarh area, and in one of the tribal villages, they have a spring water on the top of the hill. So they get very clean drinking water. So they actually made a piping system. Of course, they used this modern thing. That is today. But otherwise, they were already, doing some kind of other alternate models of, canneling and things like that. So that water, they don't have any drinking water problem there, even during summer. Though they have a Saraswati river just downline, where it's a kind of a perennial river. I mean, there's always water running there. But for drinking water, they depend on the upstream, because they think that spring water is actually best for them. Just a few kilometers away, there is actually a hot water spring also there. So I think even such natural things also can be documented along with the man-made structures as well. So I just wanted to expand the
scope of that documentation.
As well, even natural water places, because a lot of tribal people actually depend on that as the only source, because they haven't made anything.
Yes,
they just depended on what was already there.
There was some people have documented step wells. There, if you Google, definitely you will get. They have documented step wells, but not other systems. They have done good documentation of step wells, but other system. But again, what they have done, they have just pointed out. That is very important step, very important step. But we'll have to go a step further. Document, talk to people, like architecturally, as like how that was useful socially and all that. So that kind of documentation yet to not yet done. So that definitely could be done. What you are saying, these resources, actually we are thinking of reaching out to people and appealing them to suggest some places, because there are some places where people say that the source has not dried up even once in entire history. So we were interested in just documenting these things, that these are systems which have not dried up even any time in the history of, say, so many 100 years. So again, such springs or some wells or some tanks, those are all the time with water. So that is also definitely could be done, but it needs a lot of things. I will appeal actually IISER and your that water thing. If at least a small thing we can take forward, that will be of use. Yeah, very important question, because all the time, this is very, very important, because many times, as I said, that we just go on glorifying. So let's not do that. Let's look at the situation, well, whether we can use them. We can use them for drinking purpose. See, if there are wells, if there are step wells, definitely drinking purpose, that the thing can be definitely catered. But if you think of that using these wells, we will do all of our irrigation, that is not possible. So at least that need we'll have to look, and if these systems are not functional, they are going to die. So just at celebrated structure, no one will maintain them. If that is giving me something, I will look at it, I will maintain that, I will do something required. But just celebrated things, that one. But as a legacy, something will have to preserve, one thing. Another thing, as I said, that for drinking purposes, all that definitely those things, again will have to look at groundwater table, because that time groundwater table was bit higher, and today it has gone deeper. So that in that sense also we'll have to think that whether that will be useful to us or not. So of course that all exercise we'll have to do. And third thing, it doesn't mean that, because many people say that if we revive this, we don't need any dam and all that. That is not the thing. We need all these things, because our requirement has gone up, population has gone up, our lifestyle has changed. So nobody will say that get this and get out of what we are doing today. Simultaneously, we will have to keep them as a heritage value, as a system which are catering some of our needs. That's it.
I just was curious about the groundwater policy that Maharashtra has. Does it cover, because I believe there's a project to map groundwater systems, which will include a lot of these systems as well, traditional systems as well. And I was wondering if you know anything about that, because that could be some kind of documentation that is happening. Though the perspective is not to look at the heritage aspect, but I'm sure like that this is a traditional water system, and that kind of mapping. Even Aqua Dam is mapping the groundwater systems, includes traditional systems separately, I don't know. But there are already these kind of projects which are underway. Do you have any information on those? Or
not like they have not taken cognizance of these systems. So yes, groundwater policy is there. They have given some rules, like rules are yet to make, but in policy it says that we should not fetch water like as a deeper than say 200 feet or like that. But they have not taken cognizance of these systems. But if we follow that policy, then there is a chance of this system again become like they'll start working, or there'll be water in this system, because the today problem is that water level has gone so deep that this system they are like shallow, they are not so deep like we dug bore well. So wells have got say 50 feet, 60 feet, not below that. But if our water level has gone down more than 50 feet, 60 feet, then but that policy will definitely help this system. If we want to revive these systems, that policy will help. But whether we act on that, whether we really follow that policy, that is a big challenge, because other policies and other rules, how much we are following, we know. So but they have not taken cognizance of these systems. But if that works, that will definitely directly, indirectly help these systems.
One of the things we know is a lot of systems like this require large areas to recharge them. So if you have a well, you need a significant area around it which is going to percolate water and fill up the well. And those areas are gone in most cases.
Yeah.
Either to urban development or to farmland. And if it's farmland, it's even worse, because you have a lot of chemicals being used on those farms. And therefore, the viability of reviving these for drinking water, for potable water, becomes very difficult. And so, unless we can protect large catchment areas around wells, it's very difficult to think of them as being revivable in any way.
Yeah. One thing I will just, this is also very important thing, because again, we need not see just, they are good. What has happened, there is one example of Atpadi village. Atpadi is a village that is Tehsil, that is from arid region, one of the most arid places in Maharashtra. So Atpadi, there are small wells, ad we call it. So that is for drinking purposes. So see how, if we don't use that system, if that is not functional, then how you neglect that. This is the best example. In I think 90s or late 80s or 90s, Atpadi got tap water. So due to that tap, but prior to that, Atpadi had only this single source of their water, that was ad or smaller or narrow wells. So, but when they got tap water, they neglected all this. So there was one natural stream that used to recharge these the smaller wells or these ads. So people ignored these ads. They ignored the source which is recharging these ads. So they encroached and whatnot. So in I think 2012-13, there was again a drought situation. I traveled that area. So then people told that had we preserved those ads or kept that intact, we could have at least got some water for drinking. So if these systems are not working, nobody is going to look at them. Just as a decorative system, no one will maintain that. So what you are saying is very important. But there are some, most of the systems, those could be revived. Catchment is still there. Just what we'll have to do is just to make people aware of that and get that system into in working mode. Then there are so many systems that we can revive. Yes, that problem is there, especially in city areas where pollution is there, or as you pointed out that rural areas. But these rural areas, they are not, they are rain fed. These fields, agriculture is rain fed, so they are not using that much chemicals which will pollute that source, and we won't be able to use that for drinking purposes. So there are chances, definitely there is a lot of scope to maintain or conserve that, and then definitely we can use that for drinking purpose.
Currently, there's so much money being put into creating water infrastructure with pipelines and so on. This is just existing.
Yeah, but again, this is also like our generations have invested in them.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much.